Hello, my name is Carol May Whittick and welcome to Her Conversations, Tools for the Awakening Woman. Her is an acronym for Higher Energetic Resonance. This is the optimal state to embody in order to attract our highest desires. Who is the awakening woman? She is a woman who's seeking a greater possibility in her reality and looking for solutions. She knows being awakened is not a lofty ideal but a necessity. If she can transform herself, she can change the world. Her conversations will introduce you to talented women who will speak to your spirituality, your sensuality and soul. They share their stories and explain how they're in service to the world. So let their words and these conversations embolden and inspire you. My guest on this week's Her Conversations is Ramsha Esha. Although she is still a full-time student majoring in software engineering, she's an author and possesses a commitment to not only live out her passions but also to use her tougher experiences to motivate others. She talks about her inspirations, ambitions and shares the point of view that her generation has about our current times. This episode is an enlightening insight into the mind of a young woman who I believe is destined to make a great difference in the world. So as always, I begin by asking my guests, Her is an acronym for Higher Energetic Resonance. When do you feel that you're most her?
I think with me, I feel the most energetic, which I believe is the question. I feel the most energetic when I'm doing something that I love, because I think I love working. I'll be honest. Like, I'm very different from the people of my age group. I love working. I love being in my own space, being in my own bed, writing, coming up with different ideas, studying. I know this is very strange, actually, because a lot of people don't like studying a lot. I love studying. I love, writing. I love acting. I have a lot of different things that I love doing. I am majoring in software engineering. So I have to do a lot of programming. I have to, sit in front of the computer and just type and code and try to make new things. And that's really my passion, because I feel that I come from a background where, my parents did not get the same opportunities as I'm getting right now. They had to struggle a lot to be where they are, and they have a lot of expectations from me. They want me to achieve whatever they were not able to achieve. So yes, there is that. I won't call it a pressure. I would call it a responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that I have to live up to their expectations and my expectations.
Mm-hmm.
And I have kind of, set this mindset that it is better to do something which you enjoy and which makes you feel energetic, which makes you feel excited, than doing something that that you don't like, that is like a burden on your shoulders. Because at the end of the day, whatever you choose to do, you have to do it, for your whole life. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I have always been yes, I want a good career, I want a good professional life, but it should match with what I feel passionate about. And that was the reason why I majored in software engineering and film productions, two very different majors. And it was because I loved learning about those things. Although I was told by a lot of people that these majors and, film productions and engineering, it's mostly for guys. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't do it. You should pursue a field like, let's say, teaching or something in medical. And I was like, yeah, sure. But from all these different experiences and interactions with my family members, with my friends, with my professional colleagues, something that I learned is you just have to keep on going. Just have to keep moving ahead without really paying attention to what other people are saying, because they don't know you as well as you know yourself. Mm-hmm. So it's like I know myself better than anyone else does. And I have the freedom, I have the right to pursue what I like, which is why I'm doing writing, although it's not like I'm not majoring in writing, but I enjoy it. So I always find time to do things that I love, even if I'm not directly involved on those things. I just feel that if you can only find time for things that you enjoy, and you can always give that excuse that, oh, I'm really tired right now, I can't do this, I can't do that. But the thing is, and the reality of our life is that you'll be tired every day, and it's going to increase and increase as as the time goes on, as your age increases. So it's you, and you have to live in the present, and you have to find time for things that you like. And my parents have been very supportive, so I have to thank them for that.
Perfect. And just tell us a little bit about your background. Say, where, well, one, tell us about your cultural background as well, and then talk about how you were inspired to major in the subjects that you do, because like you said, they're not necessarily where you would put females. However, in the time and space that we are moving in now, it's more than important to have young women like yourself in those areas, because there's a shift in consciousness, there's a shift in the way that women are seen. So very much so it's necessary to have women like you in those areas. But start with your background and just talk me through to how you ended up doing what you're doing.
So my parents are from India and Pakistan, so I have families in both of these countries. And I came to USA when I was 7 years old, so came at pretty young age. But I was also, it was not the age when I didn't remember anything from Pakistan or India, so it was a huge shift, a huge cultural shift, leaving your extended family, your cousins, people back behind, and coming to a new place, going to a new school, getting to know different people. I wasn't used to all of that. So when I came here at the age of 7, almost turning 8, I was very scared. I remember the first day of my school. So I went to the school called Williams Gowdy, pretty near my house. And I remember I was lost the first day. The school wasn't that big, it wasn't huge, but just coming here, and it was my first day, and I just didn't know anyone, although the teachers and the people around me were really nice and welcoming. But it was always this fear that, oh, should I say this? If I say this, what would happen? Would I say something wrong? Is the other person going to judge me for that? So I was a very confused child back then. And I had low self-esteem also, because there was this mindset that I was in, that these people are more capable than I can ever be. They can speak English so well, they know what they're doing, they have great relationships with their teachers, with other students, which was very different when I was in Pakistan, because the whole school system, the education system was very different there. So it was kind of hard for me to get into that space and make new friends, speak to my teachers in a more comfortable way. But I learned, and I think there were, when you go somewhere new, there are always few people who you find who encourage you and motivate you to go forward and actually do different things. And I found that bunch of people who were very supportive, and that's how I got my confidence. And I made new friends. I had good relationship with my teachers. I was able to do well academically as well, because like my teachers and my fellow students were very supportive at that time. So I came here when I was in second grade. So second grade and third grade went extremely well. It was actually when I went to a new school. So we shifted, and I went to this school called Stone Academy. A really good school, but if I have to say, if there is a time that you actually don't want to remember, then I would say it was that phase. Not because of the school, but because of the people who were around me. I was bullied. Haven't said this anywhere. Sharing it for the first time. I was bullied. I was harassed. I was there were times when I was like physically tortured. I remember this incident. I was in sixth grade, I think. Yeah, sixth grade. I was locked into a classroom. It was really dark, and I was really scared, and I did not know what to do. I was knocking the door. I was trying to find a way to escape, and it was as if someone has kind of locked me into this tunnel, and I'm going to die anytime. That is how it was like. And it continued for a few days. Not that, I mean, I tried telling my teachers, I tried telling the principal that what's happening. But at that time, which was, I would say, around sometime of 12, 13 years ago, bullying wasn't something that was, considered, not going to say a crime, but it wasn't something that was considered punishable. And that's very sad, because a lot of people commit suicide because the fact that they are bullied or they're looked down upon for something. And I, while in being in that zone, I was trying to figure out that what is something that I have done which actually make me, which actually make people treat me this way. And I think every child my age questions that, like used to question that, like, what is something that I have done that makes me be in this spot. And I was confused because I had no answers. I remember going home questioning my mom, what is something that I have done? Like, why am I getting treated like this? And she was like, people are like that. You just have to be strong. And she was right. Like, I think you can't allow, someone else won't speak for you unless you do it yourself. You have to be strong, and you have to fight for yourself, because no one else is going to do it for you. Only you know how you're feeling, and you have to face that. So that whole experience, those years, changed me. They transformed me completely in a way that I started questioning myself that, do I really deserve this? Maybe something is wrong with me, or that even affected my grades. It affected my academics. Kind of made me feel very low. I wasn't like the other kids who were growing up. But then it was 8th grade, so the year of my graduation, my middle school graduation. So I met someone. I met someone who I'm still in touch with today, to this date. And that person really changed me. They actually, I went to counseling sessions with them. At that time, I did not know that there's something like counseling that exists. You can go to people and talk to them about your feelings, about what you feel. So I attended almost 7 to 10 sessions with the counselor, and that really helped me, because it, able to believe the fact that I don't deserve all this. I am just like anyone, and the fact that I come from another country or the fact that I come from another background doesn't make me any less than someone else who has been here for so long, or who is, let's say, white person. Like, it doesn't make me any less than them. I am my own person, and I have my own choices, and the freedom to make those choices. So that really changed me, and that was because I actually went to those counseling sessions and consulted someone professional. And I was lucky, I was fortunate that I was able to do that, because a lot of people do not even know about it, and even if they don't know about it, they think that it's wrong to go to a counselor or to see, let's say, a professional doctor, or to just consult someone regarding what you're feeling and your mental well-being. And I'm so glad that I went, and that really changed me. I was able to face those people strongly, and I was able to answer them. I was able to fight for myself. And that was the time, and this is the time, and I can actually see a positive growth. And now I would like to kind of relate this to what I'm writing. So I am writing, I want to educate others. Honestly, I want to tell people that it is okay to feel vulnerable. It's okay to feel weak. We are humans, and we go through all those different experiences, but you can always learn to fight for yourself. You can always find ways to really work on yourself. You shouldn't allow other people to judge you, and based on their judgments, you shouldn't change yourself. You are your own person, and you should be proud and happy of who you are. So I'm going to mention about my third book, my second, which is also my second novel that I'm working on, and it's based on mental wellness. And it's very close to my heart, because here I'm kind of tackling a concept that I kind of have experienced and went through, and it was a huge responsibility also, and it was also a little scary initially, because I was, while writing that book, I was going back to that zone and remembering those moments. But I'm so glad that I did that, because you can't really move on from your past until you remember it and until you accept it. So that that is that really changed me and made me the person I am today.
Perfect. And so you talked about the books that you're writing. What inspired you to as well as doing the studies, to actually start writing the books? Why did you feel that it was necessary for you to write?
Yeah, so honestly, and it might sound very cliche telling you this right now, I never thought I'll be a writer. Never ever in my life I thought that I'm gonna write a book. It just happened, and I know it sounds very cliche. How did it just happen? But it happened because since my childhood, my growing years, I've always been someone who used to question things around me, and a lot of times I used to get mocked for that, or I used to get told that, oh my god, you shouldn't ask so many questions, like just calm down, like you don't have to dissect each and everything. Even while watching movies or reading books, I used to be like, why is this character doing this? What makes he or she be in that place? And I was always this curious child who wanted answers, and I had this diary, this journal, and I used to write those questions and be like, one day, I'll find answers to these questions. And I know it sounds very weird, because I don't think a lot of people do that. But okay.
Probably not.
So yeah, and I have been at different stages of my life when I felt very depressed. I was unhappy because of few things, and I said to myself that maybe, what can make me feel better is actually writing. So not writing any stories as such, but just expressing my feelings and writing my thoughts on paper, and just seeing if that makes me feel any better. So I made this like a habit that I'll write every day. Like during the night, I'll just write what happened on that day, or how am I feeling right now. So I used to write like a page every day, and I used to feel really I used to feel peaceful. I used to feel very happy, and what so like around I think it was 2 years ago, I made this habit of writing every single day, and almost 100 days passed and I had like 100 pages. And I just looked at that journal and I was like, oh wow, this is like a storybook. I just wrote 100 pages, one page every day. And I just love being in that space of writing, and then afterwards I used to feel very happy. So it's been 2 years. I'm a junior right now, and it's been 2 years since I pursued software engineering, and I just said to myself that although this is not my major, but so what? I feel happy while doing it, so I can do it. I can write, and I just thought for like few minutes or few days, that's an over exaggeration. I said to myself that I love making stories, and I've always been fond of watching movies and reading books, so I might as well just write something. So I did not think a lot before writing that, what am I going to do as an author? Didn't even know that I'll be an author one day or I will publish my own book. I just started writing. I had this concept, my very first manuscript, and it was very close to my heart, and I just started writing 3 pages every day, sometimes 5, because I have always been a writer who needs to set goals and limits. I can't write like 10 pages or 15 pages in one day. I know a lot of people can, and that's really nice. I can't do that. But yeah, I used to write 3 pages every day, and in approximately 2 to 3 months, I finished that manuscript, and it was crap. It was crap.
Why would you say that?
Because it's I mean, I haven't worked on that manuscript since some time. It's not this book that I'm publishing right now. I do know that I have to kind of go back and work on it more. But yeah, just completing that manuscript made me feel like I have accomplished something. Like I have my own 120 pages. I have actually created this. I have made these characters, and that's a huge, it was a huge accomplishment. And the fact that I enjoyed writing what I was writing, that really made me go forward with writing, and that's how I started writing my second book. And I feel that your first book or your second book by any means is never going to be the best that you'll write, but as long as you enjoy what you're doing, you should go forward with it. And there's always so many people that you can learn from, and I have been quite fortunate that way, because I have had a lot of people telling me great things, sharing their experiences, mentoring me, and that's always great.
Good for you. We didn't really go deeply into your studies, but I'm love to find out more about your studies as like your major anyway, the software engineering. How are you finding the studies? How are you seeing that that's going to be, or whether you're going to use it in your career? What percentage of your peers, your study peers, are female? Could you answer some of those questions? And how is the teaching? How do the teachers relate to you in terms of the way that you're taking on the studies, and also how they think you're going to enter into the workforce?
Yes. So although I love writing, but I love my majors equally. So I'm majoring in software engineering and film productions, very different majors, like poles apart. But the fact that I liked both, so I've said to myself that why not do both? And yes, there are a lot of ways, if you question me about it, there are a lot of ways that I can that I can see how both of these majors can come together and make me do what I want to do in future. So I decided to major in software engineering when I was in my senior year of high school. So I was part of this program called Lumity, and one of the best decisions that I made, because I gained a lot of confidence from there. So we used to make websites and apps for small businesses and organizations in Chicago, based in Chicago, and that's how I developed an interest for coding. It was very simple coding, like HTML, CSS, like all the web development coding. But that's how I learned that this is something that I enjoy and I want to do it. I did not think a lot about, how many males are in this field, or if I would find a lot of female colleagues or female bosses and stuff like that. Never really thought about that at that age until I came to Loyola. And that is when I witnessed the reality. That was when I saw that, okay, the ratio is like, if there are 15 male students, then there are 7 female students, and most of the professors are male, like barely we just have, I would say, 2 to 3 professors, female professors, rest of them are male. And that doesn't really, it's not something that's bad. A lot of people say that, I know a lot of my friends say to me that, yeah, that's the reason why I did not pursue engineering, because, it wasn't, I just wanted to be around female professors or, my female colleagues. And they are right in their own way. I can't really question their opinion or their beliefs. But for me, I don't view that as something negative. I just feel that a lot of people are not exposed to what engineering really is. There's this perception that engineering is all technical. You have to sit in front of your computer and code for hours, which is a part of it, but it's not the whole profession. As an engineer, you work with other people, you collaborate with other people, you come up with different ideas. It can also be something that's a lot of fun. And a lot of people don't know that. And we are always taught from our childhood that there are certain fields that are reserved for guys. So if it's coding, if it's all programming or, making things, it's probably for guys. And if it's like, teaching or doing perhaps something in medical, it's more for girls. And that kind of, I guess, those kind of tags really mess up with our mindsets, or with not my mindset probably, because I'm already 19, but people who are growing and they're exploring these different professions. And I think that is where we make a mistake, because first we have to educate people of what each profession is about. What really is software development. They don't know that. We have to tell them. And I feel it as my personal responsibility to educate those kids, to educate those women, those young girls who are still exploring what's around them. They don't know. So you have to tell them, and then you have to let them make choice for themselves. So not really pushing them towards something, but actually educating them about it. And I am working on that. I am actually working on a project with my university, where we're trying to really make difference and educate people on what is software development. Coming to my second major, which is in film productions, no one no
So
one.
how did you pick that? How did you get
Yeah.
what drew you into film, well, film production more than anything?
Okay, so this is actually funny. No one from my family has ever majored in film productions. So when I said this to myself, I was like, "Are you crazy? Like, are you really gonna do that?" But then I said to myself that this is something that I like. I like making movies, I like writing, I like acting, I like I enjoy writing about movies, I enjoy all of these different things, I enjoy capturing different things. So I should probably pursue something that I feel so passionate about, because I have this one motto that I live by, which is that you should never regret. Do anything, but do not regret, because it's the worst feeling. And that is when I decided that, okay, if this is something I really want to do, then I might as well do it. So again, it was that kind of a decision, like just going to the school and just saying, I really want to major in this. Can I add this major? And I spoke to my advisor, my academic advisor, and she was like, it's going to be a lot of coursework. Like, there will be times when you have to take 7 classes in one semester. And I was like, yeah, I know that I have worked out that plan. And honestly, I really want to do it. So I just don't want to miss out on it because I have to take more classes. So I added that major, and it's been almost 1 year. So I added that major when I was a sophomore, and now I will be a junior this year. So it has been the best decision of my life, because I have learned so much. I have learned so much from the people around me, from my professors. They have really taught me that I am good at this, and I'm learning it, and I have the ability and the potential to pull this off. And connecting both of these majors together, I'm actually working on this educational platform. So what we are gonna do is we will make documentaries, which is kind of, it falls into the film side, based on these different people who have been part of CS, whether it's women in CS, whether it's different organizations or companies, software development companies, or professors, or just different people. And we would really have this one message which would be specific to each documentary, and we will try to spread that out, and we will actually educate people on what is software development. And my film skills can come very handy, because since I know how to work with cameras, I know how to write scripts, I will be able to pull this off. So yeah, I'm very happy with what I'm doing, and I know there's going to be a lot of work, but it's fine. I think you have to work hard to reach or aim your dreams and your goals.
There are a few questions that came to me as you were speaking. The first one, being so, I mean, you're not a child, but being of a younger mindset, but being so sure about doing what you want to do, and also being so so resolute in your conviction about doing things that you want to do without any regrets. So it's like, this is what I want to do. I know it's going to be a lot of work. Where does that come from with you? Because a lot of people will bend to convention maybe, or go where the money is, because it doesn't necessarily seem where you think things are going to be at any one point. So where does that come from?
That's a really good question. I think it comes from my family's support, especially my mom and dad. While you're growing up, you really want people around you to support you and just tell you that, it's fine. do what you love, do what you like. We are here with you. We support you, and we will always be there for you. And just those few words can boost your confidence and can really make you believe that, yeah, I should do something that I love. I should do something that I feel passionate about rather than just pursuing something conventional. Because I have people who are with me, and they will be with me for the time to come. They would support me. And a lot of that confidence comes from my parents. I don't say this a lot. I don't say this to them a lot. But here I would actually like to admit my mom and my dad have done a lot for me, and they have supported me. Like, they have stood by me like a rock, which is great because if I won't lie, if I did not have such supportive parents, I wouldn't have, done what I love. Because I know a lot of people personally. I know my friends, I know my family members, I know people who are growing up who are my age, and they don't have the same kind of support. And that makes me feel very sad, because if you don't have that support, then it's very easy for you to just kind of lose your way and go to another path, the path that you don't know about, the path that you don't want to pursue, but you just go because everyone is doing it, and you just don't have that kind of support from people around you. And I have also been lucky when it comes to my friends. Loyola has really, it has really made me more confident, because I met people who always told me. There were times, well, it was last semester actually, I was taking around 6 classes, and there was a point of time when I was crying. I literally cried because there was so much work. And that is when my friends came in, because I used to spend, most of my time in my college. So that is when my friends came in, and they were like, you can really do it. You picked this for yourself, but we know that you can do it. When someone tells me that, I trust you, I believe in you, and you can do it, those words really make me feel that, okay, at least there is someone who believes in me, believes in what I'm doing. So that comes as a major boost. And if it helps me, and if it gives me confidence, then I think it gives all other people confidence too. I don't think people need I don't think people need you to do something extraordinary for them. All they need is few words of motivation, especially people my age, because they have so much stress, they have so many things on their plate. So if you see someone sitting down, they're sad, or they don't look right to you, it won't take a lot of your time to go and just say that, are you okay? Is there something I can do for you? I know you can do this. I believe in you. Those are just words, but they can really change someone's day. So I don't shy away from doing something like that, even if it's a stranger I see sitting in one corner, and if I see that they're feeling very sad or they're very stressed out because of something, I'll just go to them and I'll be like, hi, are you okay? Is there something I can do to help you out? And I have seen people being very genuine about it, and I've seen people, just instantly, just their mood changes because they see that, okay, someone cares for them. So yes, I just feel a lot of my confidence and my goodwill comes from my mom and my dad, who have always been there for other people, have never shied away from helping others, and that is where I get confidence to really pursue what I'm doing. Also, my professors have been very supportive.
Perfect. And you're an easy person to invest confidence into as well. You've got, I want to, like, a question came to me actually when you were speaking, and between your peers and your friends and your siblings, if you have siblings around your age, what is the conversation, what's the feeling about the way that the world is, and the way the world that you guys are growing up into and where you're going to fit yourself in there? What's the general feeling from your generation about the world? Big question, sorry, but you know.
No, it's actually a really good question too. So while I'm with my friends, we have different conversations, and it's not just limited to our schoolwork or our coursework or just, you know, watching movies. It's also about what is the world really doing right now. It's also about all the wrongdoings that are happening, all these crimes that are happening, all the good things that are happening. And there are incidents that really, you know, shock us, and there are perceptions that really make us feel that, yeah, why do they think this way? Like, I'm a Muslim, so there's always I have always heard and I have always seen in mass media. I have actually experienced this personally as well. There are a lot of misconceptions about being a Muslim, about being a Muslim woman, about coming from about like following Islam. And I just want to say that our religion, and every religion for that matter, it brings peace, tell people to not fight and help out each other. I think that is something that every religion says and tells its followers to do. And I have had a lot of conversations with different people about that, not really telling them directly what Islam really is, but kind of showing them through my actions what it is, because I think actions speak louder than words. I think this is a quote that I remember. So you have to show people. You can tell them what it is, and it's always good to educate people about that. But I just always feel that there's more power in showing something than telling something. And if you show them something, they are more likely to believe that. And what do I think about the world? I have a lot of, personally, I have a lot of different opinions about it, about different issues, different topics. I think in the world that we live in, although we are growing and we are, you know, we are making a space where we are not treating, but at least trying to treat everyone equally. But there is still a long way to go. There are situations and there are times when certain people, certain gender, or a certain person of an ethnicity or religion or color is they get more opportunities. And I think that's the reality, and you can't run away from it. This actually makes me remember something. So while I was in my high school, I was part of this team, robotics team, and we had a great bunch of people, talented young girls and boys. I was one of them, and we had the state level competition where we were supposed to go to another state, and the person who was handling everything, who was mentoring us, actually said that, you know, I can't take girls with me. I can only take guys because that's just, you know, better. I'll be more comfortable, and it would be less of a responsibility. So he kind of just pushed us to a side and just said that I'll just take the guys. And that really made me feel, and that was the time when I was like, yeah, you know, this exists. People have this mindset where they are like, you know, it's just better if we take a certain gender because they're more capable, or probably they know more about what they're doing, or it's just not a huge responsibility. And that really made me think that, yeah, I don't want to be part of an environment or a toxic environment where I am made to believe that I'm less than someone else. You can judge me based on my potential, my academic potential. If the person would have said that I won't take you, or I won't take these people because they're not capable, or they are not great, they're not so great at what they're doing, then yeah, that's an acceptable reason, because you want your team to win. But if you don't take me, or if you don't take my female colleagues just because they are not, they don't belong to a particular gender, then I think that's a very lame excuse. And sir, if you are hearing this interview, I would like to say that that's a very wrong mindset, and you should not do it again, because judge someone for what they're capable of doing, not because of their gender or where they come from or their skin color. They're not responsible for that, and you are no one to judge them on that, based on that. So yeah, we rebelled. We went to the principal and we were like, okay, sir, this is happening and please do something about it. And fortunately that person got fired. But yeah, that was really sad, because it really made me feel that, yeah, if I really want to make my place here, I would have to fight against people. I would have to find with people coming from these different backgrounds and have these toxic mindsets, because as much as we say that we want to change the world, but it's not easy. It takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of effort. And I just made my mind, and I just decided that I'll just do what I want, and I won't let anyone else affect the way I see myself.
Perfect. Great. Keep doing that. And like you said, it's a lot of work, but you know, if we have everybody from every background, every age group pushing for just everyone to have a space, you know, where they're seen equally and respected equally, and we all go in with the same kind of idea, then we might get somewhere, I think, you know, especially with younger minds coming in with younger mindsets, with more support, that will really help, you know.
And also something very interesting, I have observed people doing it, and a lot of people told me as well that they're like, in order to kind of make that shift and step into this new role, there are times when you have to kind of disregard your old teachings or what you have been taught. And I feel that's not the case, really. You can always balance your traditional values and your personal values. You can always strike a good balance, because yes, things are changing and we are, you know, getting to a new space, but that doesn't mean that you have to leave your old values behind. There are always ways where you can balance things and you can strike a nice balance. And yeah, it's going to be hard, but it's definitely possible if you really put your mind, your soul, your heart into it. You can always balance things. I don't know where that came from. I just remember I was like, just say it.
I was just sitting here going, do you know what? I'm encouraged by your wisdom. I think it's great. I'm glad you said it. Wherever it came from, I'm glad you brought it up, you know. And going on to just more of your wisdom anyway, or wisdom that's been imparted to you. One of the questions that I like to ask all the women is the Her Conversations questions. And the first one is, what is the best piece of advice a woman has ever given to you?
A very close friend of mine, and who is also my colleague, told me that there is a long way to go. And she was very honest. She said that, you know, what you're doing is not going to be easy. People will judge you. They will try to distract you. They will try to make you shift from your goals, but you just have to keep on doing what you love, and never let any person, anyone tell you what you should do, because they don't know you as well as you know yourself. And especially never let a man get you away from your goals or pursue a different path, because whoever comes in your life, whoever it is, can be a friend, can be anyone, would never make you change something that you have believed in or something that you have dreamed. They would accept you the way you are, and they would accept you and they would accept your dreams along with you. And it's not just for, a partner. It can be anyone. It can be your friend. It can be a family member. It can be anyone. They'll just accept you with what you're doing and with what you want to do. So that's the best advice that I got from my friend, also a colleague. Yeah.
Perfect. And what woman would you say represents higher energetic resonance to you?
I think for me, it would not just be one woman. It's quite a few of them. My mom, first and foremost, my mother. She is an housewife, but she is someone who has always pushed me and always told me that you should do what you like, you should do what you love, you don't have to do what I'm doing. For me, it was yes, it was a choice that I made, but I know you have different priorities and you have different goals and you want to do something else, and I would just encourage you to go for it and do it. I've always seen my mom being all happy, positive, cheerful with the things that she have, and that really makes me see that the one, first and foremost, one should always be grateful for everything that they have, because there is always someone else who probably don't have access to the same opportunities as you do. There's always someone who who just doesn't have as much freedom as you do. So when I actually and my mom also, this is also something that my mom says, so it goes, we kind of go back to the last question. So that is also something that's also one of the best advice that I have received, that I've heard, that always be grateful in life and always value what you have. These two things are also very important. So it's my mom, because she is very positive about what she have. She's always happy, and she has always motivated me to go ahead and do what I love. And that kind of support it's huge, especially coming from your mother. Because they just know you so well. I think if there's any person who know me more than I know myself, it's my mom. So
you should hope so.
Yes. And then also a lot of my friends have been, again, very supportive, but also very energetic. There are times when I'm just by myself and like, oh God, I don't want to do this, or I can't do this. And that is when they come in and they're like, Ramsha, get up, you can do this, okay? Let's just go. Find time to pamper yourself, find time to enjoy. A friend of mine, and I'll mention her name is Ikra. She told me that, yes, you're doing so much work, but the time that you're in is not gonna come back. So the fact that you're living your college life and it's just so precious, it's not gonna come back once it's gone. So you might as well enjoy the special moments of it. You might as well value those moments. And that was great, and that really made me it really changed me in a way that I realized that yes, I'm working, and work always goes on. It's something that will never end, but you should never stop living in the moment. So it's all these things that really make me feel that I should balance my work, my friends, my family, and I'm trying to balance all of that. And it's not easy, but I think if you want to do it, then you can do it. It's really about the fact whether you want to do something or not.
And the next question, actually, you probably touched on, but as you said, you're super busy. You're always on the go and creating and putting some good stuff into the world. But what is your favorite self-care ritual or practice? What do you do when you allow yourself to have some downtime?
What is my favorite self-care practice? Nice. There are many, actually. And
good. I'm glad you've got an answer, because if you didn't, I was going to force you into one. So good that you have an answer.
Yeah, no, there are many, actually. And it really depends on my mood. Also, there are times when I just, if I don't have anything to, well, Fortunately, I would say fortunately, because I'm happy that I always have something to do. But there are days when I feel like not doing anything, and I allow myself to do that, because I think if you're constantly working, then also your work suffers, because let's just face it, no matter how much you love working, you can't do the same thing, or you can only work 24/7 all 7 days. That's impossible. That's toxic. It's not good for your health. If you're doing it, please stop doing it. Don't work for all 7 days. So yeah, there are days and random days, since my vacations are going on. There are random days when I'm like, I don't want to work. And it was just yesterday that I took a break and I did not really do anything. I went out. I went to my university, and I clicked pictures with my mom, with few of my friends. I met few of my friends, and that was great, because I got into a different mindset, and I had my own time. I spoke with the people, and for me, my best self-care ritual is just being with people. When I'm not working, I don't like being alone. I like being with people. I like having conversations, and this conversation that we're having right now is also a form of self-care for me, because I like having conversations. So yes, that's one thing. And when I'm very tired, I just go on a nice walk, sit in a park, or just go to a beauty salon and get like a hair massage, because like, oh god, this is so much fun. Like, all my stress is like going away, having fun with my friends. There's also one more thing that I did which I enjoyed. So it was my friend's birthday party, and we had this very stupid random balloon fight. So we became small kids. We became like 9-10-year-old kids, and we had this balloon fight. We had all these balloons, and we were hitting each other with those balloons. We were not smacking, that's a very strong word. We were hitting each other. We were having this balloon fight. It was really fun. We had it, I think, approximately for more than an hour, until this lady came in and said to us that you guys are in public place. This is university. You can't do all of this. So yeah, we were like, okay. But I started laughing after that. So yeah, that was very much fun and something I enjoyed.
Perfect. Good to hear that you're having fun. So back to the job in hand. What's next for you? What's coming up? Let everybody know.
Yes, so my book, Rebel Against the Odds, is coming on August 20th. It is women's fiction genre that I feel that I enjoy writing, and I feel that there's a lot to tell also. And it's a collection of 2 short stories. One of the stories is actually loosely inspired from a real incident that occurred in Karachi, Pakistan. And I can't say what that is because that's the twist. But yes, one aspect of that story is that it's based on a mother and a teenage daughter relationship. And the main character, her name is Aisha, is very different than the person that I am. But it was fun writing her, and it was fun, getting into her perspective and seeing things from her perspective. And yeah, so that one is about a mother-daughter relationship, and of course there's more to it, and you have to wait some time for that. And then there's another story which is again very close to my heart. It's about how you don't have to be from the same religion or from the same background to be friends with someone. It's just about having the right values and having not even having similar experiences, but kind of just getting along. If you are in a problem, or if you are facing something, it's not necessary that you only have to seek help from people who come from the same background or religion as you come from. It can be anyone. As humans, we seek for support, and we want compassion, and you can get that from anyone. It doesn't have to be someone from your own religion. And that is what the second story is based on. So that releases on August 20th. And then my second book, which is also my first novel, is based on how education, especially education for women, is considered as something in a lot of different places in some countries, and I have done a lot of research on it as well, that it's not considered right for women to go out, work, or even go to school. That's like in harsh reality, and although we don't live in that space, but it happens. And that is what I'm trying to kind of showcase in front of my readers with my second book, which is also my first novel. And then my third book is about mental wellness and how a lot of people don't consider mental wellness or mental illness, for that matter, as something that should get treated. They don't even consider that it exists, and that's problematic. That's very that's an issue that we should worry about, because it's okay to believe what you want to believe, but you should at least admit that this is something that exists. And it's actually dangerous that a lot of people believe that mental illness is, it doesn't exist, it does not happen. No, it is there, and a lot of people face it and they experience it. So that is what my third book is based on. And yes, there's more to it, but yeah, you guys will find out as we reach closer to the release dates. But yes, so I plan on publishing these 3 books this year and early next year. That's my goal. It's not going to be easy, but let's see how it goes. And if you guys want to get more updates on what I'm doing, you can follow my account, Ramsha Stories, on Instagram and Facebook. And I'm also working on creating my own YouTube channel, so I can also directly interact with people and have conversations with them. So I would have more details on that soon, and my website is going to get launched this week, hopefully Friday. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to going all out and just looking forward to receiving people's feedback, because I think the only way you can grow is when you put your work out there.
For sure. And what is your website address? What will that be?
So yeah, this is actually kind of funny. Well, it's raishaproductions.net. I'll spell that. Should I spell that?
Do.
Okay, it's RAESHA Productions, PRODUCTIONS.net. Yeah, I tried my best finding raishaproductions.com, but that domain name was not available. So I had to go for .net. I don't know why I'm saying this, but yeah. So yeah, that's the name of the website, and you can just search Ramsha Stories on Instagram and Facebook, and you will find my account. So please do follow.
Do you know, it's been so refreshing speaking to you. It's been a really inspirational and encouraging exchange, just listening to you, seeing your vision, and also because it's not always just about having a vision, because so many people do have a vision.
Yes.
It's also about the fact that you are in the trenches and actually doing the work, and even to the point where it sometimes gets too much, but you appreciate and understand that things don't get done without actually putting in the action and getting everything moving. And also, again, like you mentioned before, you are definitely blessed and lucky to have parents who are beside you and who see your vision and encourage you, because without that, many people will struggle to even think that what they can do is inside them and not, or they'll do it and it just takes that much longer. Because if you don't have, if you look to your close circle or your family unit, and if they are not upstanding with you, then you're actually having to really push against much more than their opinion. It's not only just pushing against their opinion, but it's also bringing yourself, your inner strength up as well. So
Yes.
to be able to just have the momentum behind you and wanting you to do well is you can't even put a price on how valuable that is.
No, exactly. And I would like to say that I'm not someone who is special in any way. I'm not doing anything extraordinary. I'm just doing what I love, and I don't kind of work with a mindset that, okay, yeah, I'm doing this is going to be a sure shot success. No, life is not like that. You have to accept your failures as much as you accept your success. They all make you learn, and they all of your success and your failures are part of your life. I don't want anyone to think that I'm someone who is special or I have been granted with these superpowers, because that's not the case. I'm just like anyone else my age. I have my own moments when I'm depressed. I have my own moments of feeling weak. I have my own moments of feeling crazy. But yeah, I just feel that it's all about balancing things, and this could be controversial, I don't know.
Let's
But
do it.
whether your family supports you or not, I think at the end of the day, you have to be strong, and you really have to accept that, okay, this is something that I want to do, and I'll do it. And I think someday or the other, your family, especially your parents, will understand what you did and why you did what you did. But that shouldn't be an excuse as of why you shouldn't do what you want to do. And as long as you go with your heart, you have to be very practical too, because majoring in software engineering wasn't, it was something that I liked, but I was also very practical about it, because I knew that it's a field that if I'm not able to pursue something in film or something in writing, then that's always something that I have to fall behind. So yes, you have to be practical, but then it's all about really finding the balance to be practical, but also to pursue your passions. This is the time, and I think your time starts from the moment that you decide it starts from. There's nothing as such as starting way too early or starting way too late or starting at the right age. It's really about just knowing when you know everything and just going from there. And yeah, just ending with a message that I really want people around me and people in the world to do well, to really seek their dreams. And if there is something that I can do from my part, if there is any help that I can offer, I would love to help, and I would love to offer all the support that I can. So if you want to reach out to me, don't shy away. I love helping people, and I do realize that not everyone has the opportunities that I do, mashallah, by Allah's grace. But just want to say that I believe in creating opportunities not for myself, but also for other people.
You're a blessing. You're amazing. I think you're great, and the future's going to be like so fantastic with you in it. It's going to happen to you in such an amazing way. It has to. You've got a special spark. I know you say you're not special, but you do have a unique take on things that is not every day, and it's people that have the courage to go after the ideas that they have and be unique and have a unique perspective that make a difference, so I'll remember, I'll say, well, she came on my podcast back in 2019. I've got that episode. I can tell you where she was. Oh
God. You're so sweet, actually. Thank you so much. And I think a lot of credit goes to you also, because you made me feel comfortable, and you gave me that time to kind of process my thoughts and share those as well. So it's also about the host. And yeah, one more thing that I would like to mention is I have this platform. It's called Me Starlit. We take interviews of celebrities and of people from these different industries, whether it's actors, directors, women entrepreneurs, and it's mostly based on India. And I just want to say that being someone who interacts with celebrities and interview people also, sometimes not every day, I totally know the kind of work that goes behind doing what you're doing. It's not easy. It takes a lot of work, editing, making segments, coming up with questions, interacting with people. So I would just like to say hats off to you for doing it so well. You actually make me feel very positive, and I just wish all the success for you. May you achieve all your dreams and aspirations.
Oh, perfect. And the same for you, Ramsha. I just it's been great connecting with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks to Ramsha for joining me on this episode of Her Conversations, and thank you for listening. You can discover more about me by visiting my website, which is carolmaywhittick.com. And also you can follow me on Facebook under Carol May Whittick, and my Instagram is Kazmick, that's CAZMICK. You can also follow my other account, which is Her Life Academy on Instagram, which is about instruction and inspiration for the awakening woman. The full version of Her Life Academy will be launching later on in this year. I would also appreciate you leaving a comment, liking and sharing any episodes. And if you subscribe, you'll be notified as soon as a new episode is published. So thank you again for listening. And until the next episode, have a great week.